So, Dr. Sullivan, we're here filming this on the final 2-hour day of school. What's this school year been like for you? You're the director that's new this year. As you were reflecting back, and I know you'll still process that some over the next few weeks, but just takeaways.
So there were a couple of things we wanted to do. We wanted to really get back to increasing our communication, so I think we've done a good job there. Making sure our focus was on our students the last couple of years of just everything going on across the country and in the world. You know, sometimes our focus was on other items and it needed to be back on our students and making sure that our staff members felt supported. So in looking at that, I feel like this year went as good as could be anticipated. And I'm excited for the future of where we're looking at. But you're exactly right. The next couple of weeks are going to be a lot of reflection, but not a whole lot because we're planning for next school year.
Right. One of the biggest topics that we've talked about a lot the last few weeks has been the third grade retention and fourth grade promotion. Those numbers came out about a week ago for Rutherford County, and we've been working with parents this week. What were our initial passage rates for those going to fourth grade? Do you know that number?
Yeah, right at about 44% of our students were proficient, and I think that's a great point to hit at. When you continue to hear, whether it's in the media, that this was a test whether or not a kid could or couldn't read. Yes, it is a reading test, but it's English language arts. It's not strictly can a kid read words on a page. It's can they comprehend complex text? Do they know vocabulary words? It's a lot more than just truly can a kid read. So if you have a student that's in third grade and they didn't meet that proficiency benchmark, don't think that doesn't mean that they can't read. That they absolutely probably still can read. We just want to make sure that when it comes to the ELA standards, we work with them to get them where they need to be.
So there was about 44% initially. We had a number of exemptions also because of students who are English language learners, or they have some sort of special needs like maybe dyslexia that affects their ability to read and those kinds of things. So we were about to 70% initially. Where are we now?
Yes, we're at about 70% when you added in the exemptions that was in the state law of who was already exempt. We were getting very close once the appeal window opened, so we had a large number of our students who didn't meet proficiency, but they were in that approaching category, meaning they were right on the cusp of being at that proficient level. Parents can appeal if they're in third grade and their kid performed at the approaching level, then they can appeal starting May 30th, and that'll move us into the 90th percentile of our students who are automatically moving on. Looking at that a little bit further, we fully expect every student and parent that is interested in moving on to fourth grade, because we've had some conversation with parents who want their child to be retained. They feel like they just weren't ready. But if we have a parent that truly wants their kid to move on, we have pathways for them to be successful.
Yeah, we were talking this morning with some of your instruction leaders, and they said, without a doubt, 100% of our students should be able to go to fourth grade. We have the resources in place, the supports to help them get there under this law that, again, came from the state level. Let's celebrate a little bit. Mm-hmm. You did something with the budget and with the school board that I can't ever remember it happening. It's possible it's happened before, but definitely not in the last few years. What did you guys do with the budget this year?
So I do want to give credit to our school board and our staff, our principals. We did a great job in looking at. We have a huge budget. We're $18 million, and so we were actually able this year to our expenditures for next year are estimated to be $518 million, and our revenues $518 million. So what does that mean? It means we are presented a balanced budget. For reference, this year we were at about $28 million of a deficit. And so I also think we need to give credit to our state delegation, because a lot of that funding came from the new TISA funding. And so we definitely appreciate that support to public education.
And some of the things that you're open, you had really 3 focuses that you wanted to use this year when you were designing the budget with the board and with the staff. What are those 3 priorities this year?
3 first, doesn't matter what type of curriculum we have or how great our buildings are, we have to take care of our staff first. So we were looking at staffing and salary. Second, we were looking at behavior. We realized that's kind of been a national trend coming back from COVID, making sure that we were taking care of behavior and putting supports in place, but also making sure we had systems for students who made mistakes. And then the last one was to truly be able to put some funding into some of our older buildings that need some maintenance. And we were able to accomplish all 3 of those with this budget.
And there was something else you did with money this year as well, something that's personal, I know, to you with your family. This got approved a couple weeks ago from the school board. You had a lot of your family members here. We did a big group photo. I made fun of your kids a little bit. It was great day. What is this new initiative, and what are you doing?
So one part of the Director of Schools contract is Director of Schools gets the same percentage raise that teachers do. And so We have announced the Sullivan Family Scholarship Fund, so most of this community knows that my son Declan, and really our whole family, Declan was diagnosed with leukemia in April of 2020, and so this community really rallied behind our family, whether it was bake sales, t-shirt sales, fundraisers, to support us personally, but then it moved into really supporting just different groups who supported leukemia, lymphoma, and childhood cancer, and so we are going to donate that raise back to a separate scholarship fund that's going to allow a senior, and we'll have an entire committee to set up, but we'll have a Rutherford County school senior each year who has faced some type of critical illness, and they'll receive a scholarship somewhere probably between $7,000 and $10,000.
So basically, the minimum raise this year was 5% for employees. You were entitled to get that same amount because of your contract, but you're planning to donate that into a scholarship fund, and you'll do that, I'm assuming,
every year that I'm able to do it. Yep.
That's great. Yep. All right. Just so that parents know, does school stop now? What happens in the summer as far as summer learning opportunities, food, service, things like that for those who still rely on those services?
Yes, there's a couple of things there. One, and I always, anytime I get this opportunity to talk about, teachers are not paid to work in the summer, and so when you hear the teachers get summers off, teachers don't get summers off. Teachers are not paid to work in the summer. But we do have a large group of employees who are coming back on different contracts, and part of that is our summer camps and summer school. So summer school being at the high school level, and then summer camps for our entering kindergarten through rising eighth grade students. Those are at multiple campuses across. They start June 5th, and we are such a large system. Education does not stop. We are hiring, teaching all year long.
Because we're the fourth largest district in the state.
Yes.
This big of an operation cannot pause for more than a couple hours usually. So
usually
even though today's the last day of school, we're already having discussions about what does next week look like and how does that play into next year.
Absolutely.
And the summer learning camps, my two of my boys go to these camps, and for the last 2 years they've done it, they're doing it again this year. They absolutely love them. Like my kids asked me, do we get to go to summer learning camp again this year? And part of that's because we named it well. We could call it camp. But they just really enjoy the way that teachers approach it differently during the summer, because they get a little more freedom in how they teach those skills that students are supposed to acquire for the next grade, and just have a lot of fun with it.
So we have a lot of parents who we only do it for the month of July. They ask, can we do it only do it during the month of June? They're like, how come not July as well?
Right.
But we only run them through June.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to sign off in this way. What message do you have for employees on the last day of school?
Yeah, so we've done a whole lot of work this year, and I think as educators and professionals, we always want to just continue to improve, move forward, but we have to take time for ourselves. And so it is time for reflection, it's time to celebrate, but it's also time to truly take care of yourself, focus on your families, and leave work where it belongs, which is at work.
What message do you have for parents?
Yeah, for parents, we've made a lot of progress this year. We have a lot of work left to do, and so our goal every single year and really every single day is to make sure kids learn the skills that they need to learn, but also that we're going to help them, along with our parents, learn skills to be successful in life. And so we look forward to continuing to do that, and I thank them for their support. We had a lot of challenging times this year, but part of that, we're a big organization, we're a big group, we're a big community, and we're going to have challenging times that we just kind of work through and move forward to the next one.
This next question's harder. What message do you have for our elected officials, the state level, the school board, county commissioners?
Yeah, it's been a lot of relationship building, and so I greatly appreciate just the welcoming aspect, the welcoming environment. We don't always agree, and that's what's great about our country. We don't always have to agree, but we've definitely developed a relationship, whether it's the state level, our county commission, our school board, that even when we don't agree, we can move forward and focus on the work at hand, because we're going to have different viewpoints on what's best for our system, best for our students, best for our community, but we're all doing that from a good place. And I think as long as we're doing that, regardless of what our personal beliefs are, we can still move forward.
Second. So if you could talk to students, because students don't like to always listen to us, our kids don't, but if you had the ability, they're cool enough to watch this video, what message do you have for students?
Students are why I got into education. And so even though I serve as the director of school, superintendent, my job ultimately is to serve our community, but it all goes back to serving our students. And so I don't ever want to be viewed as a superintendent or director of schools that's not involved with our kids. And so I don't want everyone to be viewed as somebody who is just in the central office and that's where they stay. So don't ever hesitate to reach out, to talk to me, to see me being at graduation, and just the different kindergarten, 5th grade promotion ceremonies that we have. That's what it's about, seeing our students successful. And so I hope that I can always be viewed as, yes, leading the school system, but just really still a teacher that cares about people.
All right, last question. If you had to do it again, would you have called more or fewer snow days and weather days this year? And how many do you expect to call next year?
As many are required. I definitely think that the number of days were appropriate. I'm still concerned about the person that I have calling, whether it should be me or James Evans or the two Jameses, whoever needs to call.
Well, we could do a poll and we could ask viewers today to vote on this video.
I know I'm going to lose this one. I know I'm going to lose it. You're the voice. I was just trying to allow you to have some time to focus on your family as well.
No, in all seriousness, I've had some people ask, hey, is that not something you do anymore? They're talking to me, and I've been able to explain that you were hoping to build a relationship with parents this year and for them to get to know you. What's that been like, getting to know people and them getting to know who Jimmy Sullivan is?
Yeah. It's been great. A lot of people, just because I mentioned with our family with Declan, they knew kind of our journey anyways. It is definitely unique in being a director of schools that has kids in the school system. Because yes, you're always going to, if you're in a leadership role, be approached by people when you're out in public. But it's great to have that relationship, whether it's at the soccer field, baseball field. I still help coach the little Christiana Junior Pro team. And so I think it's great for the community to see that we're just people as well, regardless of what your role is.
Well, and maybe one day you'll have your name on a coffee mug.
Maybe that's when I'll know I've arrived.
That's right. All right. Well, we look forward to year 2. Yep. Hope I'm still here. Hope you keep me around.
Yep, you'll be here.
Great. Maybe not in this role, but it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great. So to parents, just thank you for another great school year, and we're looking forward to next year. Have a great summer.